Okay, let me flat out say the heavy blunt sucks. In Assassin's Creed Origins, it's the worst weapon you can ever use. There's no point to have a heavy blunt as a weapon. I don't know what went in that mind. Obviously, the heavy blunt is basically a mace, and obviously they were trying to say that not as it is a mace, but definitely they wanted to use it as a weapon. And the great thing about Assassin's Creed Origins, you have such a variety of weapons. With the variety of weapons, there's no point on choosing a heavy blunt. It's just not a good idea, especially with the super it has. So, the reason I'm making this video because I fought Hoplite, which is who this guy is, in Assassin's Creed Origins during the Serene Gym. I mean Coliseum. This isn't Pokemon. In the Serene Coliseum. And Hoplite is probably the hardest one I've faced so far, and I haven't even finished it. But I was just saying that Hoplite was extremely hard to beat. So, and then I was like, hey, I could barely beat him with this heavy blunt. So why not just trash on it? I love Assassin's Creed Origins, but this was a terrible design choice. Not design flat out choice, but just a terrible like weapon choice. The thing that there are a couple things that make the heavy blunt completely dumb. The fact that first off, when you do your light attack, which is right bumper, is basically a heavy attack. It is not your it's not your heavy attack, but it's your light attack, and then you just do this big arc. Like right there, it's one big arc. And it's extremely heavy because after you do it, you're kind of in that spot for 1 second to where someone as fast as Hoplite can easily pick you out. To the point it just gets tedious with having your. And the worst thing, and then the second thing about it is the fact that it is quite slow. It's called a heavy blunt for a reason. And its heavy attack is the worst part about it. Now, originally, when I got a heavy blunt, I was on a mission. One of my favorite weapons to use at the time was a scepter. And a scepter is a scepter. It's one big stick with at the end is a dome or a ball, and it's quite heavy. To where you do it, you're like whipping this thing around very quickly, quicker than this. Even with the light attack, even with the heavy attack, it goes faster than that. And then when I got it, I was like, oh man, this is awesome, because you know what it does? It blocks an attack. Basically, using a shield becomes absolutely useless. I was like, oh yeah, this is nice. I want to use this all the time. This is going to be my main weapon. I mean, I love my scepter, but come on. We're talking about a weapon that blocks an initial attack. That's pretty good, and then it follows up with a pretty nice heavy attack. And it does the same amount of damage as your light attack, so there's not a whole lot of great diversity between it, but it's pretty good. And then it came to the point where I was game banged by a lot of people, and by then I didn't even know there was a light attack, and I was playing this game for a long time and didn't know there was a light attack. So, and then I was just using my heavy attack, was just like heavy as mess, and I was getting gang banged by a bunch of guys. And my initial block wasn't blocking, because I blocked one guy, some guy was stabbing me in the back, could have hit him, I blocked, and the other guy stabbed me. It just wasn't working. I was like, why did they make this? Sure, the blocking is good if you're taking on like one guy, but it doesn't work. When I was fighting, this is the second time I fight Hoplite, but the first time I did it, I was using my heavy attack the entire time, and I tried, and I could not block a single attack by Hoplite. He's so fast, so that why when I do my first throw the thing up, bang, he just used his shield, and then he comes out with his sword and just completely decimates me. I didn't lose to him because I quit, not because I'm a sore loser, because I knew I wasn't going to beat him. So I wasn't just going to give up. I was going to make sure I was going to win the next time. So that was one scratch off the record of me. I'd say it as a fail. I desynchronized when I fought Axis because he was so hard. But after I got his pattern down, it's quite easy to beat, and that's the thing with everybody. But the pattern is messed up when you have a stupid weapon like the heavy blunt. And the next part about the heavy blunt, point number 3, is it's super. This little adrenaline bar you see above your health, that's your adrenaline bar. When it fills all the way up, you can use your super. And your super is like this. It can be a very strong attack if you have a sword, or if you have like a scythe sword or like a hook sword or the scepter or that of blunt, it uses that, which for the blunt, for every other thing, it works because the super for them is a fast attack. You just like throw your thing around, all of a sudden everything turns yellow. You're going fast, and I mean fast. Like you can see right here, you just go fast. I whipped around him so quickly, and I charged up my heavy attack. It didn't do anything, as I couldn't get to him fast enough. Even here, he's faster than you. I landed a couple good hits, but I was like running around him so fast. That's the only way you can do it, and he's even faster. So having a head, and then for other weapons, it works. But for the heavy blunt, it doesn't. And that's just a fact. Because the heavy blunt in its name is heavy, and having a heavy weapon for something that goes so fast doesn't work. You need a heavier attack. So I'd say instead of using the heavy blunt as its super going very quickly, use it as your shield charge to disorient them to where you can use your light attacks. I showed no mercy because I was so angry having to deal with a heavy blunt, and then this guy who's better than me and barely beat him. I barely beat him. I had all my health, but I barely beat him. I'm gonna flat out say that. That's just the truth. In conclusion of part 1 of this video, heavy blunt sucks. Honestly, I kind of regret the fact. I wish I could have gotten in contact, which is physically impossible, with Ubisoft and be like, hey, heavy blunt, no. Flat out no. This is just terrible. No one wants to use this. Sure. Oh yeah, you can block. Yeah, bro, I can block your first attack and take you out. No, you can't. With someone like Hoplite or any boss, it's physically impossible. I fight this boss twice for a reason. Because the first time I showed no mercy. But the second time, I'm gonna show mercy. Because I'm not the kind of guy that's just gonna end up killing you straight away. It feels better letting them live with their sorrow and then eventually be like, huh, that guy I fought against? Yeah, I know. Yeah, he let me live. He's such a cool guy. Now to start the next thing off is a guide to be a hoplite. Now, before I start the guide to be a hoplite, this channel is going to do some changes. I'm just going to say that flat out. This is no longer going to be a Let's Play channel or when I just hop onto Overwatch and just record my commentary. I'm not going to do that. I wasn't happy with that. That's something, like, nowadays in the gaming section of YouTube, it doesn't work. Let's Plays are kind of dying. And the only people that are going to stay in that business are big shots like PewDiePie, Markiplier, Decepticon. They're the only people that's going to stay at the top. And even those guys are diversifying from gaming because they themselves know that gaming is becoming a smaller market now. Because everyone, if you're not some other YouTuber, like a tech YouTuber, a life YouTuber, something YouTuber, you're a game YouTuber. It's because everyone else playing video games. So I myself even joined that craze, and then I realized it's not going to go anywhere for me. Someone as small as me, I'm not going to go anywhere if I just keep doing what I'm doing. And I wasn't even happy with what I was doing either. So I decided the fact that I love playing video games, yes, but recording my commentary is kind of boring. So I thought, hey, why not do some type of like guide videos, not walkthroughs, but guides to defeat things, and then what's the best in this game. So, like, I'm gonna do a series, not a series, but an adventure on Origins. I love Origins, I think it's one of the best, and the reason, like, because with Origins, the focus is no longer on assassinations as much, because you can tell when you're playing and whenever you have to assassinate somebody, there's no big assassination thing, like, here are the ways you can assassinate this person in, like, Unity or Syndicate. No, this is just a flat out, you gotta assassinate him, man, because you're not an assassin, you're a fighter, you're a magi. This game takes a whole new adventure on what Assassin's Creed's about. It's no longer about just flat out being like, it's gonna get this guy, poison him, or stab him, yeah. It's gonna be about flat out fighting. And this fighting style is kind of like Dark Souls. like Rise Son of Rome. Rise Son of Rome is probably a lot closer considering the time period's a lot closer. Because right now I'm in a Roman Coliseum, not the Roman Coliseum, a Roman Coliseum fighting a Roman. So that's the fighting style is so different. So when you're fighting, you have to know exactly how you're fighting. So the guide to beating Hoplite. Now this is fighting Hoplite was extremely hard on the first time, as I said before, especially using a terrible weapon like the heavy blunt. The thing about Hoplite is he's extremely fast, so you gotta make sure you're as fast as well, dodging his attacks so fast where his fast sword attacks don't even hit you. So you gotta make sure you're using your light, heavy attacks. I'm putting air quotes, and you can see that. You have to use your light attack after getting behind him, because after he'll stop for like a split 2 seconds, and that's your window to use your heavy attack. That takes about 1 second. You have to use that attack, and like he switched between 2 weapons at the time. At the beginning, he uses a spear, and the spear is a heavier weapon. He uses a sword. And when he switches to the sword after he throws the spear after you at a certain amount of time. He'll continue to switch off between those, grabbing a spear from the side to attack you with. After a while, he uses the sword. So you have to. The easiest way to beat him is when he just. Easiest way to get shots on him is when he has his spear, and he doesn't have his spear for that long if you continually attack him, which is your window to go headstrong on this and just try to take him out as hard as possible, because his sword he's so fast. So trying to fight him when he has a sword, it's kind of hard. He also uses his shield a lot, and the only way to beat bosses like this, you gotta recognize the pattern. And his pattern is, first off, you're gonna start with your his spear. He's gonna come at you with the first main attack, big stab attack, 1 stab attack, and then his little circle attack. But then after he throws it at you, it's pretty easy to dodge. He's never hitting you with it. So as I said, it's so easy to dodge. But then he's gonna throw it at you, and you're gonna have to switch. He's gonna switch to his sword, which is a lot harder to beat. That was complete stupidity there, why I got stopped. But if you put on the pressure enough, he'll switch between his weapons very quickly. It makes you go for him so much easier. And also, the best thing about Hoplite, and I think it's a lot easier having a spear than when he's using a sword, is if you can get a shot on him straight off when he's got his shield away from him after trying to deflect you with the heavy blunt. You get him on the head 1 time, he's gonna back up, be stunned. Then you gotta do that again, he'll back up, be stunned again. Then you gotta do it twice. You're gonna do it again. So that's 3 times you've got. See right here? Boom! I just got him 3 times with that, and he was stunned from it because I got him in a sweet spot of his. But his shield also puts a lot of pressure on too. But the best way to beat him when you have your adrenaline, as I said before, don't use your adrenaline with this guy, charging up as a strong attack. Use it as, when you have your shield, you have a charge ability. If you buy the ability for the ability thing, you have a charge thing. It's pretty cool. You just run at him with your shield. And running at him with your shield helps so much. It blocks them, and then you can do an attack. So after finishing him off, after recognizing his patterns, even with his sword, he's a lot more spastic with the sword, so it's kind of hard to tell sometimes. After you get both of these down, and then you continually dodge around him, it is so easy to beat him after recognizing his pattern. Like one of those Pac-Man games. So this time I show mercy because I'm like, hey, it's fine. We're good. And then I get my victory, event complete, I get my Duracus, then I skip the watching my friends because I don't have any friends. So, yeah, it's pretty easy to beat him after recognizing his pattern. Thank you for watching. I hope you continue watching and liking how the channel has changed. Thank you. Like, subscribe, leave a comment.